Hey everyone, it is Julie here with TipRanks, and today we're taking a look at 3 popular dividend ETFs. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, today we're taking a look at 3 popular dividend ETFs. These ETFs are a great one-stop shop for diversification, giving you a ton of exposure to some quality companies, sometimes hundreds of stocks within the one ETF. We have a mixture of ETFs today with different focuses and amounts of holdings, so we're going to take a look at them, what it is that they track, and how they've been performing lately. We found these over on the TipRanks ETF Screener. Found right under research tools. With the ETF screener, I was looking for a low expense ratio as we don't want to waste a bunch of money on fees, some positive upside potential here, and then under advanced filters, we wanted a high dividend yield, and that narrowed down our list below. Just before we get into today's dividend ETFs, this is a reminder that if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and that you're subscribed to the channel as well. Now let's dive right in. First on the list is our smallest ETF of the day, that is the iShares Core High Dividend ETF. It trades under the ticker HDV, currently priced at $117 per share. You can see it has been a steady performer over the years, gaining nearly 50% over the last 5 years, up 20% in the past year, and gaining nearly 8% in the last 3 months. The ETF has an expense ratio of 0.08%. They track an index of relatively high dividend yield paying U.S. companies. They offer exposure to high-quality U.S. domiciled companies that have had strong financial health and an ability to sustain an above-average dividend payout. The underlying index is a subset of the Morningstar U.S. Market Index, which is a broad market index representing approximately 97% of the market cap of publicly traded U.S. stocks, and the underlying index represent the top 75 high-yielding stocks meeting the screening requirements. Over the past 10 years, the company has a compound annual dividend growth rate of about 5.7%. And their current quarterly dividend comes in at $1.23 per share for a dividend yield of 3.38%. And that, of course, comes from their underlying 76 holdings within the ETF. Assets under management come in at about $11.5 billion. And their top 10 holdings make up about 53% of the ETF, so pretty highly concentrated there. In our top positions, we have ExxonMobil, Johnson & Johnson, Chevron, AbbVie, AT&T, Philip Morris International, Merck & Company, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Cisco. So a lot of big names there. Scrolling down below, we can see that it is focused in the United States, and the top sectors include energy, consumer defensive, healthcare, and utilities. Now, of course, Wall Street analysts don't assign buy, hold, or sell ratings to ETFs themselves, but TipRanks is able to look at the average rating of all of the holdings within an ETF, weigh that out, and assign a rating accordingly. So the HDV ETF does come in as an overall hold based on 151 ratings. The average price target of $134 would imply an upside potential of 15%, and down below you can see which stocks within the ETF have the highest upside or downside. Second on our list today is the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. It trades under the ticker SCHD, currently priced just above $84 per share. Over the past 5 years, it has climbed 82%, up 22% in the past year, and in the last 3 months has gained 8.65%. Their expense ratio comes in at 0.06%. Their goal is to closely track the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index. And that index is designed to measure the performance of high dividend yielding stocks in the U.S. with a record of consistently paying dividends, selected for fundamental strength relative to their peers based on financial ratios. When we look at the methodology, the stocks must pass the following screens: a minimum 10 consecutive years of dividend payments, minimum FMC of $500 million US, and a minimum 3-month ADVT of $2 million. The company did just announce a 3-for-1 stock split that'll take place around October 10th and an increase to their dividend. They do have a solid track record of dividend growth. When we look at that 10-year compound annual growth rate, it comes in at about 11.4%. And their most recent dividend comes in at 75 cents per share on a quarterly basis for a dividend yield of 3.46%. And that is based on about 100 underlying holdings. This ETF has assets under management of $60.45 billion. And their top 10 make up about 41% of the ETF. And we have some different names in this one here. At the top, we have Home Depot, Verizon Communications, Cisco, BlackRock, Pfizer, Chevron, Texas Instruments, Lockheed Martin, Bristol-Myers Squibb, and Coca-Cola. Down below, you can see, once again, we're fully weighted in the United States here, and our top sectors are financial, healthcare, consumer defensive, and industrials. And once again, we have an overall hold rating with an average price target of $92.77 for an upside potential of about 9.6%. Down below, once again, we can see those stocks with the highest upside potential and the ones with the highest downside. And third on our list today, with the highest amount of holdings, is the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. It trades under the ticker VYM, priced at $128 per share. Very similar looking graphs to the other two. Over 5 years, it has climbed 68%. In the past 1 year, it's gained 26.5%. And in the last 3 months, has climbed over 8%. It has an expense ratio of 0.06%. This ETF tracks the FTSE High Dividend Yield Index, which focuses on companies with high dividend yields. The All-World High Dividend Yield Index comprises stocks that are characterized by higher than average dividend yields and is based on the All-World Index, which is part of their global equity series. REITs are removed from the index, as are any stocks that are forecasted to pay zero dividends over the next 12 months. The remaining stocks are ranked by annual dividend yield and included in the target index until the cumulative market cap reaches 50% of the total market cap of this universe of stocks. So a much larger pool of holdings in this ETF, which we're going to look at in just a second. Taking a look at their dividend growth rate, over the last 10 years, their compound annual growth rate comes in at over 7%, with their most recent quarterly dividend coming in at 85 cents per share for a dividend yield of 2.83%. This ETF has over $58 billion in assets under management and over 550 holdings. So with that many, of course, our top 10 percentage is a bit lower here at under 25%. In those top 10 spots, we have Broadcom, JP Morgan, ExxonMobil, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Home Depot, AbbVie, Walmart, Merck & Company, and Coca-Cola, which we have seen in all three ETFs. Looking down below, once again 100% here in the United States, and top sectors being the financial, consumer defensive, healthcare, and industrials. And the overall rating for the ETF also comes in as a hold. The average price target comes in at $146 for an upside potential of nearly 14%, down below seeing our stocks with the highest upside and those with the biggest downside. So that is a quick look at 3 popular dividend-focused ETFs. Let me know your thoughts on these and what other ones you love in the comments down below. I know there's a lot of great options out there, and I always love hearing from you guys. Please keep in mind these videos are never a suggestion to buy or sell any specific stock, so make sure you're always doing your own research and due diligence. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you back here next time.